Hello kids, a very warm welcome to yet another exciting journey of learning English grammar. Well, I wish you all have enjoyed the part 1 video on articles. Today we shall continue with the part 2 video on articles. But before we dive into the lesson, let's quickly begin the warming up activity. So to begin with, let's start the pranayama. At my count of 1, 2 and 3, you will breathe in and out. Sit in a comfortable position. Take the pose of the meditation or the pranayama and start. 1. Close your eyes. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. Good. Now, the exercise that I am going to show you today is a little difficult, which I am not going to do, but I am going to only instruct you to do that. Okay? So for that, you need to stand erect in a comfortable position. Put your feet apart. Then keep your hands straight like this. Okay? And then try to, or you can do this thing, you can put it straight or you can put it close like this. Look at my posture. I'm standing straight and my feet are apart and the elbow is at right angle just in front of my chest. So kids, what you're going to do is, when your hands are like this in front of your chest, you're just going to raise your right leg on top and try to touch your knee with this particular palm, and then place your foot down and repeat it with the left feet. So raise your leg again on top and try to touch the knee on the left palm. So at my count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we'll repeat this for 3 times. Okay? Ready? First take the position. Yes. And now 1. Lift your right leg. Yes. And then try to touch your right palm. Lift. Now 2. Lift your left leg. Yes. Like this. And then place it down. Good. 3. Good. 4. Very nice. 5. Lift it again. Very nice. 6. Yes. Very good. Very good, children. Now, let's continue with the pranayama. Okay? So, sit down again in a comfortable position. Take the pranayama posture. And now start. Breathe in and breathe out at the count of 1, 2 and 3. 1. 2. 3. Very nice. So children, let's end this warming up activity with clapping exercise. So at my count of 1, 2, 3, let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I hope you all enjoyed this particular warming up activity. Now, it's the time for the best thing of the video. That is the pearl of wisdom. So what is that pearl that I have got for you today? Let's see. Kids, practice kindness to everybody all day long, and you feel that you're already in heaven. Now what does this thought mean? It means that when you practice kindness, you will always feel that you're in heaven. You would feel the happiness, the satisfaction, and always feel at the highest spirit of yours. Now how could you apply this in your daily life? Well, if somebody is doing wrong, you can't be kind to them, right? You will have to stop them and tell them, don't do that. But kindness means if someone is in trouble. For example, if your mom is busy doing a number of chores, and you're observing that she's really tired, but she's still continuing and doing her work. So you could just pause, stop whatever you're doing and go to her and ask her or tell her, may I help you? Well, this would be a little deed of or a small deed of kindness. You could also help your friends, your father, your brothers and sisters, yes, in whatever work they are doing. So this is a small little pearl of wisdom that I got for you today. So with this thought, let's continue with our lesson. That's articles. And today we're going to continue with the definite article. Students, let's understand the uses of the article the. We've already learned what the definite article the is, right, in the previous video. So when do you use the article the definite article the? You use it before a noun that has already been referred to in a particular sentence or in a paragraph. So if you see here, a young man got a nasty shock when he tried to rob a jewelry shop in Richmond. The man used a heavy hammer to smash the windows in the shop. So if you observe here, you're talking about this young man, okay? So you have spoken about him as a young man. Now this noun is already referred out, but in the second point or in the second sentence you see that you're referring to this young man as the man, right? And you're using this particular definite article. So this is the example where you're using the definite article before a noun that has already been referred to, okay? Then when a singular noun represents a whole class, right? That's the wolf is not really a dangerous animal. Here the wolf is actually representing the whole of the community of wolves. So it is not really a dangerous animal. So it's the wolf. Kids, the next rule is that you use them before the superlatives. Well, we have used or we've learned about comparison of adjectives already in our previous lessons. So there when you see, we use positive, comparative and superlative degree. Superlative degree is the most highest comparison that we make. So whenever we are using such degrees of comparison, we use the there. For example, the youngest child. So here if you look at this, youngest. So this is the superlative, it's a superlative and this is the article the, or the largest, or the fastest. So something like that. So the youngest child in the class. So see here there is the again. And then you use in phrases such as the first, the last, the only, the following, etc. So these are the scenarios where you would use the. For example, Simi was the last person to wish me on my birthday. So here the last, okay? Next. With nouns, because there is only one. So here we are talking about certain nouns which are unique. They are only one of its own kind. So such nouns would be, would have the article the. For example, the earth, right? The Pope, and then the sky. So all of these are unique, or they are just one of their own kind. You don't have any other copy of it. So that's why. Then before ordinals used as adjectives. So here if you see ordinals are numbers like first, second, third, fourth. Okay. So let us revise the third lesson. So here the third lesson. Kids, now let's continue with the next 3 rules of applying or using the articles. So here it's before an adjective, when the noun is understood. So here if you look at the sentence, we should always help the needy. So here it says the needy. Now what do I mean here? It means an adjective when the noun is understood. So we should always help the needy. So here it's an adjective with a noun. I want you to look at your textbooks here. On page number 71, it says the same thing. Before an adjective when the noun is understood. Okay. She works for a group to help the disabled. So if you look, the noun are here and then the adjective, the disabled. So in itself, this is also an adjective and also the noun. So using it before it. The next rule is before the names of musical instruments. So all the musical instruments would have the article the before them. So Jo plays the piano. She is learning the guitar. Okay. Next one. Before the names of families, see the names of families. For example, the Obamas or the Sharmas or the Naidus or the Patels, whatever. And then nationalities. Nationalities, the French, the Indians, the Americans. Rivers. So rivers, the Ganges, the Nile, the River Nile. So all of that. Oceans. You have the Atlantic Ocean. Group of islands, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Next, chain of mountains. Here, the Himalayas. Look at this, the Himalayas. And the universities. So it could be here, the Annamalai University. And then you have the countries. So the countries, like for example, the United States. And then hotels like the Empire State Building, the Royal Hotel, hotels and restaurants. Okay, so these were the examples where we use the article the. Students, the next set of rules are, or the uses of the are, before the names of holy books and the newspapers. So here, for example, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, and then the New York Times, the Times of India, with directions, north, east, west, south. So the north, the west, the sun rises in the east, the sun sets in the west. So all of that. And then before abbreviations, for example, the World Trade Organization, the United Nations or the UNO, all of these. Then before the classes of people. Now these are the special classes of people, the deprived, the exploited, the privileged. Okay. So kids, I hope you've all understood the rules or the uses of the article the. Now let's quickly recall whatever we've learned. Let's apply these uses into our next recapitulatory activity. Kids, now let's solve these fill in the blanks. Dash Pope is visiting Russia. So what do you think is the article that we would use here? Yes, you're right. It's going to be the. Next, dash moon is very bright tonight. So again, what would you use before the moon? Before moon? Yes, you're going to use the, because moon is. Next, who is dash president of France? President is again the single person. So who is the president? Yes. So the president. Then the next one. We live in a small house next to dash church. So you're identifying now. You're going to be particular there. The church, yes. So we're going to use the church. Very good. Next, Dash Times is one of the oldest newspapers in Britain. So what is the article that we would use? Yes, it's the name of the newspaper, right? So we're going to use the over here. And if you observe, there is superlative here, the oldest. So that is again the article which we have used in the sentence. So kids, I hope you all will remember the uses of the articles really well. Now it's time for us to solve one exercise from the textbook. Are you all ready? Good. So kids, the next topic under this chapter articles is omission of articles or zero articles. Now what is zero article? It means a place or a situation where we just do not use any article, and that is seen in various examples. So we are just going to learn what are these examples, or we are just going to see what situations are there when we do not use any articles or we need to omit the articles. You ready? Great. Kids, the next under zero articles is that when you talk about the names of the languages or when you talk of languages, I can speak Italian, so you are not adding any article there. Okay, so this is the place where you do not use any article. Plurals, countable nouns that refer to an entire class. So here if you see, tigers is a plural and it's a countable noun. So you do not use the here before it. So the tigers are ferocious. No, we just use tigers are ferocious because they are representing the entire class. Then material noun. Material noun like the gold, silver, mercury, etc. So gold is costlier than silver. Okay. Then before the names of countries, here if you look at the names of the countries like Japan, France, Italy, all these countries would not have the article before them. Okay, so we do not say the India, we do not say the Italy, the France or the Japan. So we ignore or we omit the articles in such places. Kids, the next set of scenarios or the rules that where we see the articles omitted are abstract nouns. So whenever we are referring to certain abstract nouns like bravery, honesty, happiness, all of these do not have any article before it. For example, honesty is the best policy. Next, academic subjects like science, English, social studies, and so on. Names of sports, basketball, cricket. For example, my friend likes to play football. So this is another example. Next, expressions such as by air. So I'm going to travel to Mumbai by air. By sea, all day. I studied for my tests all day. Next, in some phrases such as in bed, in heaven, or some words like hospital, bed, and then university, college, work, court, all of these words do not have any article before them. So kids, I hope you all have understood the rules where you omit the articles. Now we shall quickly have one recapitulatory activity and then followed by the concluding activity. So kids, here are 5 sentences. So what we need to do is, we need to read the sentence first and then identify if there is an article which needs to be there or need not to be there. So if it has to be there, just say the sentence is correct, and if it has to not be there, just underline the article where it has to not be there. Okay? So let's continue. I have to go to the college today. So there, if you see the word college, as we discussed, if you could recall the last point which we learned, yes. So that is the word the. So we do not use any article before the word college. Next, I love the children. So kids, I love children. Children does not have any article before it. The third one, children of my batch are really very smart. Now what do you think about this sentence? Yes, you're right. This sentence is perfectly correct. So you would not really underline or correct anything in this sentence. Next, birds of Africa are very large. Now what do you think about this particular sentence? Yes. Do you think there is any mistake? No, not really. So this is correct. The mercy is a divine virtue. Now observe this sentence. Analyze it. What is the first word there? The, and then mercy. Mercy is an abstract noun. What did we learn? Yes, we learned that abstract nouns do not take any article. There is always a zero article there, right? So we would want to exclude this from the sentence. So mercy is a divine virtue. So kids, I hope you all have understood this particular topic under the lesson articles really well. Now it's time for us to solve one exercise from the textbook. So children, let's continue solving one exercise from the textbook. Come to page number 76, exercise A. Correct these sentences. You may have to add, change or omit articles. So the first one is, the birds have hollow bones. So what do you think about the sentence? Yes? Do you think there is anything that needs to be edited? Not really, right? Yes, the sentence is absolutely correct. What about the second sentence? The second sentence is, children listened to story attentively. So what do you think here it is? What do you think? Is it complete? No. It sounds incorrect. So what are you going to do? What is the thing that you're going to add? Which article are you going to add? Yes, you are right. The children listened to the story attentively. Next, Mr. Rishi bought the toy for his daughter. So what do you think about this sentence here? Mr. Rishi bought the toy for his daughter. Now you just have to focus on the word the toy because the chapter is related to articles. So think, is it correct? Should it be the toy or something else? Yes, you're right. It has to be Mr. Rishi bought a toy for his daughter. So the correct answer would be, you will remove the toy and make a change here and you would write a toy. Okay? He coughed all the night. So what do you think? Is this sentence grammatically correct? No, not really. So what are we going to do? She coughed all night. Just skip there. And then the sentence is going to be absolutely correct. She coughed all night. Next. Fifth one, Frank's mother is an religious woman. Frank's mother is and religious. So and religious sounds incorrect. So what is that we can correct it with? Yes, good. You're absolutely right. You just have to change it and write A there. So now read the sentence. Frank's mother is a religious woman. Next, what do you see? Sixth question. Our flight is late by hour. See, our flight is late by hour. So, is this correct? No. There's something missing, right? So, I think there is an article missing here before hour. So, apply the rule that we learned in the lesson. R, H is silent. So, what is the article here that is going to be added? Yes. Absolutely correct. Our flight is late by an hour. I saw the strange man standing alone in an hallway. I saw the strange man. So what do you think? Is this sentence correct? So there are two things here. So the strange and an hallway. So what is that needs correction here? Yes, you're right. I saw a strange man. So that's a strange man standing alone in the hallway. Right? So you can ignore an. Next, can you please lend me the ear? So what does this mean? Is this correct? Yes, it means can you listen to me? So me the ear. So can you lend me an ear, because this is a vowel or a vowel. So you write an. Next, the king named the youngest prince as his heir or heir. So what is the answer there? The king named the youngest prince as his heir. So the youngest, here the article can be seen. So it's absolutely correct, right? So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, next, I can speak French fluently. Is that correct? Yes, it is absolutely correct. So this sentence is correct. So kids, we come to an end of the chapter now. So I would like to conclude the chapter with the mind map. So here we would recall whatever we've learned for the day. We use the with. So we learned the uses of the in the different scenarios. So the first thing that we learned is the cardinal numbers. So we use the along with the cardinal numbers. For example, the first, the second, the third. Then we learned that the countries or places where the names refer to a group of islands or states. So for example, the United States, the UK, the United Arab Emirates, that's UAE, the Middle East, or the Andaman and Nicobar, they are the group of islands. Then you see countries that have plural names. The Philippines, the Netherlands. Then you have the superlatives. The best, the strongest, the most beautiful. Then you have the decades, the 70s, 80s, the 90s. So what do you mean by decades here? It means 10 years together, right? So a collection or a group of 10 years together could be called as one decade. When there is only one in the world, for example, the internet, the moon, the environment, then you refer to only one in this particular area. For example, the government of this area, the police of this particular area, the river in this vicinity, etc. Then you have adjectives to refer to a whole group of people: the French, the elderly, the poor. Then you have the names of geographical areas like the Alps, the Arctic, the Nile. Musical instruments: the piano, the violin, the guitar. So kids, I hope you've understood all the uses of the. Now, let's continue to look at the points again where we could omit the articles. So here, students, you would see on the left hand side the rules where you would omit the articles, or you would see the conditions of zero article, and on the right hand side you would see the examples. For example, first one, with uncountable nouns, like I love coffee. Here with uncountable nouns, it says I love coffee. So here uncountable because you just cannot count this particular noun. With the names of continents, countries, capes, cities, towns, arts, languages, sciences, and a few diseases or some diseases. For example, Japan is a developed nation. So you would not use any article before it. Next, with the names of languages. English is spoken in many parts of the world. So before English, you do not use any article. Next, with the names of meals. We have dinner in the evening. So before dinner, you do not use any article. With proper nouns. Paris is the capital of France. So here if you see Paris and France, both of these do not have any articles. Next, with titles and names. That's President Kennedy was assassinated. So here if you see title, President, okay? His name is Kennedy, but the title is President. So before President, there is no article. With years. So I was born in 1988. Here if you see, the number is mentioned here. So that, before that there is no article used. With possessives and demonstratives. So it's I like this book. So here if you see, this is a demonstrative. So before this there is no article, or this is a zero article condition. With days. So see you on Friday. Right? So yes. So before a common noun used in its commonest sense. Right? So it's iron is a useful metal. Then in certain phrases made up of a preposition plus the noun. So here if you see, he is at, that's a preposition, school. So this is a noun. Okay. So in certain phrases made up of preposition and noun, so you do not have any article here. So zero article. Next one, in certain phrases consisting of a transitive verb and its object. So it says take heart, send word, catch fire. Okay. Now take heart, that's a phrase. It has the transitive verb with the object. Send word or catch fire. Next, before For example, if you look at this, be careful, you might catch fire. Then, before plural nouns used to denote a class. So here, warm clothes are necessary in cold climates. So plural nouns here, right? And then used to denote a class. So these are group or the word which actually represents one particular noun. Then before the nouns, following kind of, so if you find these words in a sentence, so before that you would never use any article. Here, what kind of flower is it? So students, we now have come to an end of the chapter. Let's continue with the concluding activity. Now, as a part of concluding activity, I have 3 sets of sentences. Now, what we need to do in these sentences? We simply need to identify the article which is there in the sentence. It's a very easy exercise. Now, look at the sentence, I do not want a gun in my house. Which is the article? Yes, A. Now, I want you to recall, why are we using A here? Because we are just not specifying anything. We're just generally talking about that I do not want a gun in my house. Then, the gun is in his closet. So, the second sentence, which is the article there? Yes, it's the. Now, you are going to tell me why the is used here. Yes, you're right, because we are already pointing out at a gun which is there in his house and it is in the closet, right? So he has one gun which is in the closet. So that's a particular object that we are referring to. Then, I'm afraid of guns. What do you think? Is the sentence correct or incorrect? Do you need to add any article there? Think. I'm afraid of guns. Yes, you don't have to add any article there. So let's continue with the second set of sentences. So kids, the next set of sentences. She sent me a postcard from Italy. So here, which is the article? Yes, a. Now what does this refer to, or what do you understand by this? Yes, it's a general way that we are talking about the postcard. It's the postcard that I have in my office. In my office. So here in the second sentence, which is the article? Yes, it's the. Now, here you're pointing out at a particular thing. So it's the postcard that I have in the office. So you are actually talking about, you're definite about that particular postcard which is in the office. Next, getting postcards make me want to travel. Okay? So, getting postcards make me want to travel. Is there any article there in the sentence? No, not really. So, is this correct, by the way? Does it need any article? Yes. Very good. So, this sentence is grammatically correct. So, look at these sentences, children. I have a dog. The article here is a. Then, you're not particular. So, this is indefinite, right? Then, the dog is very friendly. So, what is the article here? Yes, it's the. Next, so what is it telling? It's definite, right? The article here is definite. Dogs make great pets. Does this sentence require any article? No, not really, right? So, yes. I hope, children, you all have understood the chapter articles really well. You've now learned the omissions of articles or the scenarios where you see zero articles. I want you all to complete the exercises given in the textbook in your notebook and learn the chapter really well. after watching the videos. So kids, I wish to see you again in the next exciting journey of learning English grammar. Until then, you all take care and happy learning. Bye-bye.